26 people who shouldn't have a driver's license. Number 26. The rule breaker. Some people are just opposed to the rules. I'm not sure if they are allergic to them or what, but it really doesn't matter since they simply don't follow them. Here's a prime example of the non-rule follower. It is clearly marked no parking, and this yahoo goes and parks there anyways. He must be in a hurry to get a puppy from the pet shop, and if that's the case, I get it. I'd crash into buildings to get my hands on some little fur balls too. Number 25. When machines hinder rather than help. This incident reminds me of the Office episode where Michael and Dwight are headed to see a client when the GPS tells Michael to turn right, which of course he does while Dwight's shouting, "It meant veer to the right." Michael drives his car right into the lake. Don't worry, they both lived and Michael even managed to save the gift basket for the client. Number 24. They make signs for a reason. This is an accident that probably could have been avoided. All you would have needed is a few wet floor signs in strategic places, and this person probably wouldn't have driven into the fresh cement. Lesson learned. Number 23. Falling asleep. The driver from the top vehicle must have been falling asleep when they drove their entire car on top of another. If they weren't, then at what point did the driver realize what they were doing? Driving on top of another car is not something I think you could ignore. Number 22. The extreme stuntman. If you've been on the internet for any amount of time recently, you would know that there are a lot of people out there attempting to do the next biggest stunt in order to become an instant viral superstar. This guy figured that the only way he would ever be noticed was if he did a stunt like this. I wonder if it worked out how he planned. He must have not been too concerned since he made the time to take a picture. Number 21. An ugly affair. This is a scene you would most likely find after a man and a young woman were discovered by the wife. She has put up with his shenanigans for too many years to be passed up for an exotic cruise. Her husband and his young fling were fleeing on this small yacht when she came barreling down the dock, determined to stop them. Apparently she won, if you can call anyone in that situation winning. Number 20. Those people. Do you know that type of people that takes everything so literal? This is one of those people. The whole idea of a drive-thru was supposed to be about convenience, not creating dangerous situations. Number 19. The Muffin Man. This is why you don't drive down Drury Lane. The Muffin Man is old and doesn't like visitors or even the quick passersby. Number 18. A difficult conundrum. Who do you call to pull the tow truck out of this mess? Tow trucks were supposed to be the reliable source that saves you from a multitude of disasters. If they are the ones in need of help, who can they turn to? Number 17. You're fired. This is a great example of an individual who needs to have their driver's license revoked. They only had one job, and they failed miserably at that. Next time you need a pilot driver for a company truck, make sure you hire someone who knows what they're doing. Number 16. The after-school pickup line. If you have children who are old enough to have started or gone through school, then you might be aware of the hair-pulling experience that is the kid pickup line. Mothers and fathers these days need to find other ways in which to entertain themselves while they wait for their kids to gossip with their friends, forget their textbooks in their lockers, and all of the other things kids find to occupy their time with instead of coming out and getting in the car. This is what happens when parents are left to wait too long. Number 15. The blue badge. Having a certain title or badge of honor doesn't always mean that you are an upstanding citizen or even a good person. Check out this cop who got too tanked after Friday's shift. They have Uber and other resources to take you home if you need it. You should never drive drunk. Number 14. I forgot. I hear stories of people driving away from the pumps with a gas nozzle still attached to their car, and I wonder how people simply forget about it. At least the big gas companies have installed detachable nozzles so that each mishap doesn't end in a fiery explosion. Number 13. We need a new truck driver. I get from time to time big semi-trucks need to pull over and park so that the driver can get some much needed sleep. I get it. But how long was this guy asleep for? For the front of the truck to become almost entirely submerged in the mud? This is another company that is going to need to dust off that "now hiring" sign. Number 12. A juvenile thought. If you stole your parents' car for the night and it ended up looking like this, I would tell the fireman to make a silly face with me too to send to them so they know that you're alright and it wasn't a big deal. Though if it were my parents, I would have taken a picture with a coroner so that I would have a few days head start before they realized I wasn't really dead. Number 11. What to do now? I don't know what events transpired before this picture was taken, but whatever it was drunk, epic, or stupid. Regardless of what happened, this guy's wondering what in the world he does now. Who do you call to remove an entire vehicle from your wall? That's not generally a number you can just look up in the yellow pages. Number 10. A vehicle protest. I suppose this is what it would look like if the cars on a freeway decided to band together and protest. They did a fine job at blocking the path so that no other form of traffic could possibly pass through, and you can definitely tell that the blue semi was the ringleader of it all. Number 9. The master yogi. Yoga masters these days are trying newer and stranger techniques to set them a level above the rest. This wannabe yoga master purchased his car along the bridge high above a running stream. Hopefully this guy has practiced and has some idea of what he's doing. Number 8. A crash landing. I'm not sure who shouldn't have a driver's license in this picture, the pilot or the driver. I suppose a pilot would need a pilot's license in order to fly a plane, but either way, whoever caused this havoc should be fired. And I'm just assuming a plane was carrying this car before it fell to its demise, but who knows? If this situation didn't include a plane or a helicopter, how the heck did this even happen? Number 7. Going fishing. This guy waited all week to go out and fish. He's going to continue to fish until he's done, no matter what shenanigans the heathens around him are getting into. He won't even give them the satisfaction of looking. Number 6. Construction workers' pranks. If you spend each and every day working hard under the grueling sun, you may start to look into ways to entertain yourself during the long day. This is what happens when the pranks go too far. Now you're stuck trying to figure out how to get this car out. It must have been funnier in their heads. Number 5. If you're trying to make curfew. If you give your kid a curfew, you generally expect them to be back around the designated time. This is what happens when you were strict parents and your kid got stuck driving behind an old lady. They made it for curfew, but the next time you might want to give them a few extra minutes so your front lawn doesn't become a junkyard. Number 4. The word stop. If you're driving and the people in the car are yelling at you to stop the car, you might want to listen. If you don't, you might end up spending your Saturday doing something like this. Number 3. Fence jumper. This is why you don't take shortcuts and you stick to the main road. You may never know what you're gonna run into. Number 2. When you just can't wait. Most people on the planet are far too impatient. Since you spend most of your life waiting in lines on the phone for summer to come, you should consider learning patience. These two didn't see the point of being patient, and each insisted that each one's time was much more valuable than the others. Because of this mentality, both are stuck, unable to move any further. Idiots. Number 1. That's not what I was looking to buy. I feel sorry for the owner of this car. All they wanted to do today was go to the store to get some shopping done. They come out of said store and are presented with this masterpiece. I wonder who's footing the bill for this mishap.
Well, that's it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next week. Deuces.
Or better.